shot up into the ceiling and never came back down. And
Are you freaking kidding?
Yeah, this is one of those beep moments.
I feel like Miranda sings. Are you kidding me? Hey guys, it's Lindsay, and I am back with my good friend
Greg Picklesummer. Hello.
And it has been a while since we have posted, like 2 weeks, and this is probably going to make it about to 3 weeks, and that's because I did explain that my computer died. I lost part 2, so we are refilming it now, and this is for Theater Thursday, and I am desperately hoping that I have my computer back by next Thursday, but that's what's going on. It is Greg's turn to talk, and we are talking about, what are we talking about?
Our favorite onstage moments.
Yes, that is what we're talking about.
I think one of my favorite moments was when my first musical, Copacabana. It was during backstage. We have a lovely little YouTube clip of this as well. But we were backstage in the dressing room, and one of our co-stars was pretty much torturing one of our fellow technicians. We'll give you a link to the clip. It's a clip that speaks for itself.
It's so old too.
Well,
it's been so long. But that's what makes it fun, it's memories.
We're getting old there, Lindsay.
I'm old. I'm older than you, so you can't even talk.
Oh, 2 of our co-stars gang up on him and tickle the living heck out of him.
I managed to get it on video. And it just so happens that I was able to find it on like my old account. We watched it here the other day when we filmed it originally and before we lost part 2. So that was fun. It was definitely a good laugh, that's for sure.
Gary. On to you, Lindsay.
Okay, now I have spoke about this before, so I'm not gonna like go into detail about it. The Wizard of Oz was very memorable because I had never worked with fly lines, and I played Glinda, so I was one of the people that had to work with the fly lines, and my bubble was attached, so it was different, and I had to sit on it. The only difference is I was going up much higher in the air than anybody else, and I was also the only one not in a restraint, which meant I was sitting on a seat about this big in a huge dress with 2 crinoline underneath. And I am afraid of heights. That's scary. And I wasn't attached, and all I could think was, Glinda would not fall out of her bubble. Glinda would not fall out of her bubble. So I did my best to just stay completely in character and really enjoy it and try to just not even go there. But to be in community theater with local theater and to be as lucky to work with actual professionals that do fly lines. I mean, we don't get a lot of practice with them because they're only there for the week because they cost money. So I didn't have many practices. I had like 2 days before opening day for matinee, and I was terrified. And it was crazy, but I enjoyed it. It was so fun writing in. All those little kids are so excited. You could see them, the way the light was going, it was like kind of pink every time I was on stage. And I could see the audience from up high, or up like 20 feet. And I could see, and you got those little kids down there waving, and it was just so much fun. Fly lines is so cool. I wish that everybody had some sort of experience, whether you're helping with it or you're actually on the fly line. It's fun. It's interesting, and it's funny because you don't know when you're gonna spin. Like you just don't. Like I did it because I was on a bubble that stayed. It was attached in 2 places, so it stayed, you know, toward the audience, and I was in the middle of it. But that was good. It was fun, and I hope that there's other community theaters out there that get that involved with it because it's fun.
Just on a note, because I went to the show for Wizard of Oz, and I was sitting in the audience. I do not know how you were able to do that, because I was just the entire time just at the edge of my seat, like, please don't fall, please.
Well, there was the one time where they put me up too fast and then didn't hire me up enough. I wasn't even completely on the seat. So when they went to lower me, before I would just let it drop very easy and stand up and make it a very fluid motion, and I was not able to do that. I slipped off of it just a couple feet and then reached up and somehow grabbed the iron above me because all I could see in my head was if that goes, it's gonna bounce straight back up. And I did not want that. There were so many munchkin little kids on stage. I did not want all these lights to be broken over top of them. I just saw disaster, so it was just automatic reaction to just reach up and grab it. It did hurt my shoulder, for sure. And they promised me that they would never let that happen again. And I kind of let them know because it terrified me. But it was also one of the best community theater experiences I've ever had. So you have another one, I'm sure.
Yes, I played the role of the governor and Father Maple in Moby Dick Rehearsed. And one of my...
Sorry,
Coffee!
I'm not sponsored, but I wish I was.
We're not sponsored by anyone, but coffee is highly recommended for theater people.
Especially Tim Hortons, because it's better than Starbucks.
Well, I'm not a coffee person, so... yeah.
Okay, anyway.
But yeah, one of my favorite moments about that, it was memorizing a 3-page sermon about Jonah. Because the entire...
Are you serious? Like you had to like...
Serious as a heart attack.
That would make me nervous.
Yeah, it was stressful because I just was not sure how to memorize the thing. I stuck with one particular method of memorization and it has not worked. And my director was pretty much like, tell me till she was blue in the face, you have to literally dissect the lines word by word to understand what each word is meaning when he's telling the story, because it's very old text, old English text that I'm pretty much reciting.
Wait, so was this a good memory then? Was this like one of those moments, or was it like just terrifying or both?
It was a stressful, terrible, yet rewarding experience because I learned something from it, that you have to be open to every kind of method of memorization, and you have to do a lot of homework to...
I hate memorizing lines. It's very frustrating.
But when you get it
stressful.
memorized, it is very rewarding just to be able to...
It's there.
To get that 3-page sermon out there to the audience.
The best part is when you have something like that and you're on stage, and the moment you're done, you're like, I did it. Like, you're just like, oh, thank God.
and so when anyone complains, like, I'm having a hard time remembering 2 paragraphs. Well, I remembered 3 whole pages. So, shut it.
So the next one for me is back to the 80s. This show was fun. I was born in the 80s. I was one of the only few that were in the show or even working tech that have been born in the 80s. Or even lived in the 80s. But it was fun, and that's the only reason I did it. I didn't really care about the show. I just did it for the era and the music, and it was fun. And I remember when I got the role, because I was going to audition and then ended up couldn't, and then they called me and asked me, and I was like, yes. When I got there, she said, how are you about wearing lingerie on stage? And I was like, I don't really care. I didn't even know what she was talking about. I'd never seen the show. I didn't even know. So being out there, first it was this crazy change. Like, I was in one outfit with layers, and then I would have to run off stage and he would sing Centerfold, and I was like, the teacher that they thought was hot and stuff, and I had to come out in lingerie and special stockings and shoes and these huge angel wings. Massive. They were beautiful. That was the main reason that I loved that whole show. Those angel wings were everything. I felt like a Victoria's Secret angel walking down there. But not only is it the wings and that look, and going out there and just not caring. And I was heavier then too. I'm smaller now. It certainly wasn't my heaviest. My older shows was when I was at my heaviest, but I was heavier than now. But yeah, the quick change was crazy. I had maybe 25 seconds to get back on stage and have a completely different outfit on. I always wore the lingerie underneath because there was no way that I was going to be able to take off everything and then just put it back on. That was never ever going to happen. So, but yeah, wings, and it just made you feel like I wanted wind blowing in my hair, and they're singing Centerfold. It was fun, And those wings, like, I just love those wings. And it was also the first time where I was on stage in lingerie, and I wasn't like 100% confident about my body, but I wasn't not confident either. So back to the 80s, like I said, for me, not only the era, because I was born in the 80s, but that quick change was crazy, and like I said, those wings were everything. So you tell them about your last one.
Well, this one's a pretty good story, and it's probably my favorite one to tell. I was playing Ligarius, one of the conspirators in Julius Caesar. So there's a particular scene where we, of course, all gang up and assassinate Julius Caesar himself. And for the blood effects, we took the fingertips of latex gloves, cut them off, and then filled them with fake blood and tied them up. So they were like little water balloons, only full of blood. Because what we did was we press the blood packet against the blade, let it burst, and then when I'm pulling back, I turn it towards the audience to make it look like as if we stuck them with the blade.
Yeah.
But for me, it was my turn. I'm just like pressing and pressing. Finally, poof! It flings up into the rafters.
It didn't break?
It didn't even come back down.
What?
It just went poof and shot up into the ceiling and never came back down. And
Are you freaking kidding?
And yeah, this is one of those beep moments.
I feel like Miranda sings. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
it was just like it was like, you know, the wrestler The Miz saying, "Really?
Oh my god. That's
Really?"
Weird.
And
did everybody like look up and just like wait for it?
Nobody noticed except
Okay.
me. But obviously one of my co-stars noticed, and he was the one who played the role, who says, "Speak hands for me," and throws the first stab.
Oh, no.
Well, he had a few extra blood packets, so he grabbed one. So he was right behind the actor who played Julius Caesar, so nobody in the audience could see that he had an extra blood packet, and he aimed by sheer luck and marksmanship, splatters the blood onto my blade. So I'm able to pull back and turn the blood side towards the audience. So it was a quick save on my co-star's part, and you know who you are, and also thank you. And as soon as I got off stage, he walks past me and says, "You're welcome."
Hey, sometimes you have to save each other. It's live theater. You never know when something's gonna happen or they forget a line and you've got to fill in quickly because you want it to look very natural and stuff. So it's always good when you are in trouble and a co-actor or co-star can help you out. So for me, the last one is definitely Cabaret, and I'm not even kidding. It's not even like a specific part in that show. It's just the dancing period all together. The summer before we started it, we actually did classes here in town. We got a guy that's worked on Broadway, Lloyd Colbreth, and he's worked with Fosse before, and he taught us like a 3-day masterclass, a Fosse masterclass. Changed most of our choreography. It was intense. It was crazy because I don't pick up choreography as fast as other people. Once I get it though, I'm fine. I'm not that person that picks it up like immediately. But I danced for 9 years and then quit because I started taking piano lessons, and then I started in band and then marching band and stuff like that. And even though I didn't catch on right away, Lloyd gave me hell and I still stuck with it. I kept pushing and pushing, and I did not want to let him down. I swore to him before a show that I would make sure I had all of it down, and let me tell you, I did. It was awesome. He got to see the dance. He got to see that show. That show is probably the most high-end show I've been a part of. But yeah, being able to dance with these girls, being able to go to this master class with Lloyd Colbreth, it was such a breath of fresh air. I was already getting into shape, so it was nice to be able to continue that, and we had dance rehearsals after dance rehearsals. It was grueling sometimes, but I loved every moment of it. And I got out there and I killed it just like all them other girls did, because they did great. Them other girls freaking killed it too. So it was awesome to be able to keep up and have fun. That's what mattered to me most. And I, to this day, even though it's been over for like a year and a half, I still miss it. And I don't really feel that way about any other show anymore. So the dancing, 100% for me, is one of the most memorable things that I've done in theater, period. Just because it's, for me, such a huge accomplishment, especially with my bladder condition, which I've not talked about on my theater vlogs, but they are in my regular vlogs. So we are going to go, and before we go, we want to ask you to please subscribe. So we're gonna wait here for a second and let you do that. Push the button.
Please.
It's red.
It's a big red rectangle.
Yeah.
It says subscribe. Click it.
And click that thumbs up while you're at it.
That too.
Are you done yet?
Yeah? Huh?
Okay,
Huh?
I think they did it.
Yes!
All right.
Woo!
Thanks, guys. We will be back soon, and I will see you guys later.
Right.
Bye.
Peace!